All right. So, do you struggle looking for a newly updated sales one on one workshop video on YouTube? Or have you watched all those YouTube videos where they deliver really good sales training programs or sales training workshop and you're running out of new videos or workshop to watch? If you do, welcome. Today is a big day. It's Friday. And of course, everyone's on a weekend mode, and so as myself. So I'm ready to share with you my take on sales 101 that you can use for 2025. So after this video, you will learn tips that you probably have not heard before. You will learn methods and applications that are suitable for 2025. If you've been in sales like me for 20 over years or coming to 30 years, you know that it has evolved. Your sales application, your sales method in 2000 or year 2000, sorry, or in the late 90s or mid 20,000, it's all changed now because of so many reasons and so many challenges, and at the same time advantages as salespeople. So I will be giving you 6 huge tips for today's session. I want to divide this workshop into 3 parts because I feel that I want to give you guys the time that you actually can sit in and absorb those 6 methods or tips I'm going to give you. So let's get into it. But before that, I just want to ask every viewer, are you actually a salesperson? Are you a small business owner? Why are you in this live stream? What brought you here? What is actually what is your problem? What are you looking for? And so that will give me an idea on my next live stream if there's any challenges that you have. Hopefully I'll be able to have a solution for you then. So let's get into it. So tip number 1. Number 1 tip I want to share with you is impress your prospect, not yourself. Impress your prospect, not yourself. As a salesperson or a person doing sales related activities to your business or to your job, what does it really mean is you want to make sure that you are able to impress your prospect at the very, very beginning of your sales pitch. But at the same time, it's very important also to impress yourself because when you are able to impress yourself, there's the confidence, there's the right amount of confidence, and there's the drive, there's a really beautiful aura that your client or your prospect will see through you when you're actually trying to sell. So let's deep dive a little bit on that. So, like I said, impress yourself and sorry, impress your prospect and yourself. My application to this is very simple. If I want to impress my prospect, whether I'm doing face to face selling, I'm doing telesales, the way to impress my prospect immediately, you want to impress your prospect immediately. You have no time to waste. That's the only shot you have for a client or a prospect to stay with you. The first tip I want to give you, if you want to impress your prospect, is give the hottest feature or benefit first and foremost. I want to elaborate this a little bit more. Back in the day when I was selling in the late 90s, I was trained to hold on to those big benefits. You know what they always say, save the best for last. So I was in that era where you don't really give the big benefits to your prospect at the very beginning. Okay. Let me be clear. I'm talking about at the very, very beginning of your sales pitch. During those days, the mindset is save the best benefit for last because you would need that when you try to close a sale. There's some truth to that. I've used that during my days in sales before. In the last decade or so, that was applicable. That can be used effectively. But remember, we are in 2025. That's why this workshop is for 2025. Buyers, consumers, they are spoiled for choices nowadays. Whether you're talking about car, whether you're selling car, you're selling insurance plan, you're selling hotel membership, you're selling anything, whatever product you're selling, think about the product that you're selling. And you know that there's just way too many choices for every consumer or buyer nowadays. So holding on to the best benefit at last may not be useful because your prospect might say, okay, 20 other people called me or reached out to my company offering the same service as you. It doesn't look like your program or your product is anywhere near or anywhere good or anywhere near being good or close to your competitors. So why do I have to waste my time with you? So if you are giving freebies, if you're giving big benefits or big discounts or anything really huge in your program or in your product, that's the intro product you want to sell at the very beginning because it's 2025. If you do that, you are not only wow, you want to do the wow factor to your customer or to your prospect. But not only that you tap on the wow factor, but at the same time, you keep them engaged with you. The attention span of a buyer is always depending on how good is the salesperson. If you are a good salesperson and you have the right strategy, you can keep a client for hours and hours and hours with you on your sales pitch and buy the product that you're selling. But if you are the opposite, you're not even able to keep a client engaged with you. Not only that you lose the sale, not only that you don't get better as a salesperson or a small business owner, but at the same time, you are missing out on the growth that you need and that you are entitled to as a salesperson. Everything about me as a salesperson is simply a product of experience, a product of failure, a product of success, ups and downs. And so, if you allow yourself to try something different in sales, like this is a different method, this is absolutely a different method. You might be thinking, why would I give the biggest product to my customer or to my client at the very beginning? What do I have left later on when I'm trying to close the prospect? But the point is, you cannot reach the point of closing your client if your client is not staying with you the whole presentation. If your client is not totally interested and engaged and into what you're talking about, you might go home with that extra benefits and not be able to sell it. That's the logic of tip number one, which is you want to impress your prospect immediately. No time should go to waste. You need to immediately make that good impression. And the good impression is not only to you as a person, as a salesperson. That's a first step. You need to look presentable. You need to sound credible. You need to sound and look professional. But ultimately, if you want to talk about your product that you're selling, you want that product to create a good impression right away. And the key word for tip number one is immediately and intentional. You are reviewing what is it about your product that would wow each client. Every client is different. That's why the only constant thing is you and your product, right? Given that as a fact, every client before you meet them, you need to really analyze and review what can I sell to Mr. Smith? What can I sell to Mr. Klein? You need to know what would be suitable for them. And then you need to identify which amongst your program would wow them immediately. That's how you sell in 2025. And the reason for that is the competition, they're spoiled for options. At the same time, buyers are a lot smarter nowadays. Everything they intend to buy, everything they're thinking about or they thought about purchasing, they go online. All the informations are online nowadays. So there's really not much a salesperson can do except to do what a paper could not do, to do what a website material could not do, which is creating a good impression and wowing the customer immediately. So that's my tip number one. Remember that because selling is a process. A lot of salespeople are so caught up with, I need to make a sale, I need to close this client. Yes, you do, but it's a process. Sales or selling is a process. You could never shortcut. There is no shortcut. You cannot fast forward to when I see the customer or the prospect, I'm going to close him to buy or I'm going to sold him. You have to go through all these stages. So again, tip number one, impress your prospect by giving the biggest, the hottest benefit you have in your pocket, and that would lead him to stay with you longer on your sales pitch. So you might be debating with me right now as a salesperson, and I love salespeople who challenges my tips and my methods because that's how salespeople should be. You should always challenge a method if this is something realistic, if this is something doable, or it's actually just another salad word or word salad that you can't use into application. So if you're asking me right now, probably the same question I would ask the salesperson in me. How am I going to sell if I have given all the big benefits at the beginning of my presentation? You might be thinking, so are you saying, Majoy, that I should save the minor benefits in the end? What if in the end the prospect would say, do you have anything more to give? Because let's face it, buyers are always going to ask for more. But when you have already wowed the customer at the very beginning of your sales presentation, I do not see the logic behind him asking for more towards the end of your sales pitch because you have already given him the best of the best. So you want to reverse the whole sales process of I'll give you all the best of the best, and the rest at the end of this conversation or at the end of this sales pitch will just simply be extras for you. What do you think about that? So the whole idea is to reverse the old sales approach because we are no longer in year 2000, we're no longer 2022, 2020, or maybe I would say mid 90s, whatever era you're selling. This is the 2025 now, and this is how it works in sales. I've experienced this firsthand, and I've still selling. I'm a sales coach. This is exactly why you should evolve as a salesperson. Yes, it has worked before, but it's different now. So let's go now to tip number two. Tip number two, follow up like no other. Follow up like no other. The statistic shows that more than 60% on an average is the number of buyers who buy through follow up. And the reason for that is there's so many factors that buyers have to consider, meaning to say maybe 30 to 40% are impulsive buyers. Occasionally, we can be impulsive buyers, but the statistics simply say to us that buyers usually, no matter how good the salesperson is, buyers usually still need time and needs to be followed up. I myself, I'm a consumer, I'm a buyer. There are times when I can decide for myself, And there are times when I would say, okay, let me talk to my husband, or let me consult my husband if this is the design or the color or the style or the price that we're looking to purchase, right? We are all buyers and we can easily sell because all you have to do is to really think like a buyer and sell like a salesperson. So, tip number two, let me elaborate on that for you. When you say follow up like no other, because it's 2025. I'm going to keep repeating that the entire workshop. It's 2025. Everyone has been following up the same way the past years and decades. When you want to follow up a client, you only have one objective, and your only objective is to close the sale. You're not following up to just have a conversation with him or just to reconnect with your prospect. There's some aspect to that you need. You need to reconnect with your prospect when you're following up. But let's be clear, you are following up a client or a prospect because you are trying to close the deal. So, first, let's come into terms that follow up is not a bad thing. Some salespeople feel so turned off and the face drops when the client face to face would say, "Can I get back to you on Wednesday or can you call me back on Friday?" I experienced that myself as a sales coach and as a sales mentor. I had managed so many salespeople, and this is what I always tell them: fix your face. Even if your clients say, "Oh, can I get back to you? Let me think about it. Let me talk to my husband." And you've given everything, you've given all your best on that particular sales pitch. But at the end of the day, you can't really force Mrs. Smith to buy. You can't force her. As long as you've done the right strategy of selling, you will get the sale. Promise. Selling is not easy, but it's very simple. Follow the strategy, train yourself, get better. And if you follow the formula, there is a chance that you're going to make more sales than no sales. So let me go back to the follow up. When your client face to face tells you, "Oh, let me talk to my husband, let me think about it," remember to fix your face. Your client can see your reaction there would be, "Okay." So you don't want to look like that. You want to stay as enthusiastic as possible and you want to show some respect to that decision. You can go as simple as, "No problem. I'll be happy for you to have some time to go through it. I understand the package is very good and you really need some time to figure out which benefit would actually benefit you most and your family. So I would be so happy to call you again, Mrs. Smith, on Friday. What timing would work for you? Would it be in the morning or in the afternoon?" That's how you basically encourage the follow up. Because again, the statistic shows that follow up sales that materializes is about 60% on an average. So, as buyers, whoever is watching this live stream or replay, as buyers, you know that sometimes we need time. So, understand it's not a bad thing, it's just a thing that sometimes buyers cannot decide, especially if the purchase is big. If you're selling a car, of course they need some follow-up, sometimes one follow-up, two follow-ups. If you're selling a, let's say, a property, an apartment or a house, if you're a real estate broker, you need some time to follow up. It's not an instant thing. So let me share with you how to follow up like no other. And I'm giving this to you as a second tip because I am a salesperson. I want you to stay with me. It's the same thing as the sales pitch that I was teaching you earlier on. You have to give the wow factor. You have to keep going, keep giving the good stuff so the prospect and the client will stay with you. Now, follow up like no other. The idea of that is you want to be personalized and original. You want to be effective and you do it fun in a fun way. Follow up is very critical because if you messed up on your follow up approach, there's a chance you're going to lose the sale. Follow up is your second chance to make an impression. So you got to do it right, just like how you did the first time. Follow up can go wrong, and follow up can lead into a sale. So that's why I put this as my second tip of 2025 workshop, because I want you to learn new things in 2025. And this is something extremely original. I've done this, I've thought about this myself. I want to share with you what I call following up in 2025 be like video message. I bet you've never heard of this idea before. So, how does that work? Very simple. Whatever product you're selling, your clients say, Grace, call me back, or Majoy, call me back on Friday. We've already done we already know what we have to do. So when you want to follow up Mrs. Smith on Friday, everyone is following up by SMS or by text, by email. There's nothing wrong with that. But my idea of following up like no other in 2025 is using video message. I'll give you a quick role play. If I'm selling right now, this is how I'm going to follow up Mrs. Smith. I use my handphone, my smartphone, and I'm going to send her, like I said on my tip, I need to personalize, original, effective, and fun. So I'm going to put those four elements when I follow up Mrs. Smith on Friday using my smartphone, sending a voice message. And like no other, I'm not sending him a text, I'm not writing him an email. Dial is record a simple video message. Ideally, you want to record less than 30 seconds because it's just a follow-up message. Okay? So here is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to record myself. Hi, Mrs. Smith. Good afternoon. I hope you're having a good week so far. This is just with regards to our appointment on Friday. Today is Thursday, and I would just like to reconfirm your availability as you had requested to meet me on Friday at 5 p.m. At the same time, I just want to let you know and remind you about the $5,000 credit that will be included in your program upon registration. So I'm still holding on to that for you. Any questions? I'm happy to assist you on Friday. For now, have a good day, Mrs. Smith, and I'll talk to you and I'll see you in your office on Friday. Have a good day, ma'am. Bye. How does that look to you? If you are the receiver of that simple video message, you want to do that, or you want to use that as a new method of following up your sale or following up an appointment. If the client would confirm the sale face to face, you want to do a follow up like no other, a video message follow up like I've just shown you, because you want the prospect or the client to reconnect with you. You want her to hear your voice again. You want her to see your happy face and enthusiastic face again. You want to send that energy that you are enthusiastic that he or she is going to buy. All of this, an email, a text message, could not deliver that personalized energy for you. Is this a right thing or is it a wrong thing? You got to try it. Personally, for me, we live in this day and age where technology can be a bad thing or a good thing. For this part, it should actually what you should use if you are following up a sale or following up an appointment, because it really delivers the energy that you want your client to feel. And furthermore, he remembers how you look like. He remembers how you talk, your voice. All of this lingers into him and say, okay, yeah, I remember that lady. Oh yeah, I remember Grace. Yeah, I've talked to her. But if you're gonna send a old school traditional boring follow-up method, which is as text or email, you're just gonna be a number. You're just gonna be one of those many salespeople sending follow-up messages. And chances are he may miss reading that email. He may miss the text message because he's so caught up with so many messages in his phone or in his computer. Then you're going to miss out. So ultimately, follow up like no other. This is a big one. You really have to try it. This will really create and reconnect and continue that connection between you and your prospect. I hope you like that tip number 2. I like that. If I'm selling now in 2025, I would do that. But because I'm a sales coach, this is exactly my top 5 tips that I give to my trainees in 2025. Let's go now to tip number 3. Tip number 3, product knowledge beyond basics. Don't be basic. Every single salesperson needs to be reminded that you are a special individual and therefore you should never be basic. So when I suggest to you your product knowledge should not be basic, it simply means number 1, you know it all. You have to be a salesperson who knows everything. You have to know it all. What do you mean by that, Majoy? What do you mean by knowing it all? You know everything about your product, the strength, the weaknesses, the good and the bad about your product. Maybe not bad, but not so good. So when you do that, you are always going to be prepared to sell the strength, and you're going to master how to sell your weaknesses in your product. There is no perfect product. There will never be a perfect product. Think about you purchasing vacuum or a vacuum, right? You're choosing between 2 different brands. Both of them are supposed to do the same purpose for your life, but each of them have different features that you would say, oh, vacuum A can do this, vacuum B cannot do this, and the other way around. So there is really never going to be a perfect product. So again, the reason why my tip number 3 for you is product knowledge beyond basics is you want to be able to sell the features in your product that are not so good. They're not bad, but they're basic. They're okay. And you still want to obviously sell the best and the hottest features of your product at the very, very beginning. What do you mean, Majoy, by product knowledge beyond basics? Again, another point I want to say there is you want to know not just your product knowledge, not just what you're selling. You want to know each each of your competitors, and you want to know what are their strengths and weaknesses with the product that they're selling. So when you say product knowledge, it's just your product. When you say product knowledge but not basic, or product knowledge beyond basics, is you're not just knowing what you're selling, but you also master what your competitors are offering. This is very, very important. I have experience talking to a salesperson when the salesperson is not aware that the competitor is giving XYZ. And I would be the one to say, oh, for example, banking, right? So let's say I got a call from Citibank, and I would say, yeah, like a telemarketer would say, if you sign up for this bank program, you would actually get 2% or whatever, right? And if I reply to the salesperson and say, look, other banks like American Bank or Singapore Bank is offering a little bit better than 2%, they're actually offering better. And if the salesperson is not aware of that, you know already that you are on the losing end of the stick. But if you know what your competitors are giving, on top of you master what you're giving, you can anticipate this type of reaction. You can anticipate this type of feedback or objection from your client and be able to overcome that effectively. By how? You want to compensate that by another best thing about your product that could be aligned, somehow aligned to that comparison. So, for example, you say, or your clients say, oh, you're offering 2%, they're offering 2.7%. You can't beat that. You can't change what you're selling. There's not much you can do about that. You can't say, okay, well, I'll make mine 2.7 because you can't do that. So, what you want to do is find which one in your program could actually compensate and basically battle against the 2.7 in terms of benefit. You can say, yes, they offer 2.7, but their coverage is only local. My coverage is international. So that would get your prospect thinking, like, you're right. I'm sure you travel. I'm sure you would go overseas and you would probably have a need of a more expanded program or extensive program. So that's an example, guys, of how you can actually product knowledge beyond basics. It's not only about what you're selling, it's also about what others are selling. And because you're beyond basics, you don't only want to know what they're selling, you also want to know how you can basically tackle what they have into something that you have and basically overcome that challenge and turn that into a sales opportunity. Now, apart from product knowledge, apart from that, right? If your prospect can see that you know what you're selling, let's start with that. Apart from the fact that you can overcome the objections and you're able to tackle what your competitor is giving versus what you can give better, it also attracts positive impression to the customer or to the prospect. When the prospect can see that the salesperson knows what he or she is selling, or better yet, knows what's the market about, what the market is offering, you have a chance to close the client, but at the same time, you earn that respect and you earn that credibility to be in the space to talk about or to sell what you're selling. Number 4, okay? Tip number 4. I like this one. I hope you guys are still awake, okay? Stay focused and wait for the buying signal. Now, it sounds basic, it sounds it sounds basic and it sounds self-explanatory. I'll repeat tip number 4. Stay focused and wait for the buying signal. As buyers, we are not fully aware when we're giving buying signals to the salesperson. Let's just play a little game here. Let's say I'm the buyer, right? And I'm having a conversation with the salesperson. What are the ways for me to give buying signal to the salesperson? If I start sharing my preference or something in the line of, yeah, my daughter, she actually would be happy if this is in the program. Or, yeah, my daughter's favorite color is yellow. These are buying signals. Or we actually prefer to go to Italian restaurant more than French. So these are examples of buying signal. Whatever your product you're selling, these buying signals I'm giving you are just for pure examples, right? These are the situations where the buyer is giving signal to the salesperson. But a lot of times when salespeople are so focused with selling, they overlook what is also important in the process of selling, which is active listening. When you're actively listening, It's basically you're multi-functioning. You're selling and you're also actively listening because you want to catch whatever buying signals your prospect is giving you. So when you actually stay focused during your sales presentation, it also goes without saying that you also want to wait for the buying signal, the cues, the hints, the clues that your prospect is giving you that is connected to what you're selling. Because the more of this, the more idea you have and the more closer you are to ideas of, okay, so they prefer this. This is what the husband prefer. This is what the wife prefer. So that would give you more understanding on how you can position your product to selling to this prospect based on the buying signal. Buying signal is from your prospect and it's not from you as a salesperson. Your job as a salesperson is to sell. Your prospect's job is to give you buying signal. If those two work hand in hand, you can close a sale whatever product you're selling. Now, let me elaborate on that a little bit more for you. Yes, you need to listen actively and wait for the cues and the hints. Apart from that, also is you are allowing your prospect to guide you when is it time to close that sale. So imagine you and your prospect are in the dark room together. You're both holding each other's hands, and both of you are finding the door to get out of that dark room. You, as a salesperson, your job is to lead the prospect to the door. Your prospect job as well is to allow himself to be led to the door. So that's a great analogy of, or one of the many great analogy of sales. You need to remember that if you are able to have your client open up to you and share more buying signals about them, buying signals simply means more reasons for them to buy. What are the reasons for you to buy my product? It's as simple as that. But sometimes customers or prospects, they don't do that. They don't deliberately share buying signals to a salesperson unless you're very good to peel the onion. You are peeling the onion on your every sales pitch. You want to get to know more who you're selling to. Because the more you know about your prospect, the more you are closer to that opportunity to sell and to close the deal. So again, focus and wait for that buying signal or find as many buying signals as you can. Another good thing about that is you're guiding the prospect to buy. You need to guide him to buy. You need to lead him to buy. Tip number 5. 2 more to go. I've got 6 for you today. I'm saving the rest for part 2 and part 3 of this workshop. So hang in there. Tip number 5, winning mindset, or what I call PMA, positive mental attitude. If you want to be a salesperson, if you're running a small business, if you're doing partial selling in your job, whatever industry, whatever product, when you have, when you master what I call the winning mindset, it will translate on the way you sell. It will translate on how you sell yourself, how you sell your product. First, it's mental. Yes, there's a lot of elements in selling where it involves your communication skill, your intrapersonal skill, your common sense, your IQ. There's so many layers, of valuable traits that you have to have an advantage in sales. But the mindset, the winning mindset, is a powerful tool that you can have if you want to succeed in sales, let alone in life in general. When you have a winning mindset, it simply will translate to your way of selling. your way of talking, and your way of overcome any sales objections. So how do you do that, Majoy? What do you mean? What do you mean by that? What I simply mean by that is even when you're going through a bad week, a bad day, you're not hitting your sales targets, you're not hitting your revenue for the week, you're losing money, all of this, you're reminded by your boss and say, "Hey, you're not hitting your KPI, you're not hitting your target the past 3 weeks, what's going on?" You should maintain your winning mindset. And to do that, you need to stay positive because it's always easier to be negative. It's always easier to be a negative person. When you wake up in the morning, you can find already a lot of flaws in your day. Same thing with your job. If you're selling, you can already remember and reflect on those bad presentations, on the difficult customer, on the rejections, on the amount of no's that you gathered from the day. Those are so easy to do. But the hardest, in my opinion, is to reverse that and be a positive salesperson. This is my biggest tip for you as a salesperson, how you can actually create and master a positive mindset or a winning mindset in sales. Always reflect on your good presentation, reflect on your biggest success in sales, reflect on those big weeks, big months where you crash your target. And that would put you back in a place where you will be reminded that if you've done it before, you can do it again. That's sales for you. This is exactly what sales is about. What comes up must come down. You'll have bad weeks, you'll have bad months. It's part of the game. But there's also days when it rains, it pours in sales, when suddenly you have overflowing sales. There will be period where you're exceeding your quota. There will be period where you're so behind your quota. So maintaining your winning mindset will keep you motivated, will keep your sales skill in use. Because when you are negative and you focus on all those bad weeks, bad months, and all the negative experiences you have, or for being told off by your boss that you're not hitting your target, it really deflates your motivation. And in sales, motivation is very, very critical. It can make you or it can break you as a salesperson. It doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter how much bonus you're getting for every sale. So remember that mastering and developing winning mindset is also another tip you can actually use in order for you to be a really good and successful salesperson or small business owner in 2025. After all, it's only February. You can still make a lot of adjustments with your mindset, with your pattern, and we are always going to be in control of our thoughts. We can always shift the negative to positive and positive to negative. No one else can do that for us except us ourselves to ourselves. Tip number 6. This is another good tip. I have so many, but again, I want to finish today's live stream or workshop with 6 tips so it's not overwhelming for you guys. And of course, at the end of the workshop, all of this will be on timestamp. It will be detailed on the description. So when you just joined on the 5th tip or on the last tip, you can always replay this video and catch up on the chapters and select the chapters that would be very useful for you. This is the part 1 of the 3 series of the workshop for Sales 101, because you cannot learn so much about sales just from watching one video. You cannot just watch one channel to learn everything in sales. You have to watch, you need to diversify your sources of knowledge. You need to diversify your sources of knowledge in terms of, okay, mindset of a female and a male, how the buyers in terms of age group, in terms of their position in life. So this is the part one of three. Let's see how it goes. Maybe can even go more than part three. So last tip, tip number 6. Keep your prospect connected to you the entire sales pitch. The entire sales pitch, the entire sales meeting. Your job is not only to sell, but to keep your prospect connected like this, connected to you, looking at you, listening to you, reacting to you, and you are delivering a presentation that is equally engaging to your prospect. Have you ever had a salesperson face to face who, after 30 minutes or 15 minutes of conversation, already go off the rail? Don't do that, because when you go off the rail, meaning you go off topic, or you talk about random stuff that are not anymore connected to your product, you are allowing you are allowing the prospect to wander around or to think about, what am I cooking for dinner? This salesperson is boring me to death, or this salesperson is talking rubbish. What time is this gonna finish? Or should I just say, give my biggest excuse, I have a call to make or I have to go? Relatable, right? Because when your salesperson is so good and so connected and so engaging, you will even ignore an incoming call. So remember, your job is not just to sell, but to really master, to do the basic of staying connected with your prospect. And how do you do that, you ask? When you talk about irrelevant points or ideas or topics, you just made the prospect mentally disconnected to your pitch. When you disconnect with your prospect by doing those, what happens is the trust and confidence to buy from you is compromised. Credibility as a sales consultant is questioned. When the salesperson is not so engaging, like not able to hold the customer or the prospect engaged for the entire sales pitch, it affects the decision factor or the decision making of the prospect or of the buyer. Selling is an ongoing process, from hello to goodbye to your follow up to maintaining relationship after sales. You are constantly selling yourself, you're selling your personality, you're selling your character, you're selling your opinion, you're selling your ideas. You're selling all the time. That's the beauty of sales. You're not just selling the product. There's so many ways to close a sale. There's so many reasons why a buyer will buy. And guess what? The reverse of that is exactly the same. There's so many reasons why the prospect will give you excuses, will decide not to buy, and walk away from the sales meeting. So remember to stay connected. You are the driver of the ride. Your client, your prospect is just a passenger in the ride. So if it becomes reverse, if it turns out to be that the customer or the client becomes the driver of the sales process, there's a chance that you're not going to get a sale, or there's a chance the sales decision will be delayed, or worse, you're not going to get the sale at all, which is a time waster, an opportunity wasted, and you're not in a win-win situation in sales if this is happening to you on every sales pitch or on every sales call. Again, I am a salesperson, I'm a sales coach. I've experienced all of this. I've had my fair share of success and failure as a salesperson. But ultimately, the beauty of selling in 2025, there's a lot of tools, there's a lot of YouTube videos, there's a lot of um, trainer that you can hire privately that could actually help you to improve your business and your sales skills. If you have any questions, I finished my 6 tips. Now is the time for you to ask questions. Now is the time for you to share what you want to share. I hope you enjoyed the 6 tips. What I like when I do my live stream workshop is to go through all my tips because everything is organic, nothing is scripted. I do have my thumbnail, I do have my bullet point of the topics I want to share, but in general everything is from the back of my heart and my mind. They're all coming out together when I'm doing workshops. So I try to really allocate the Q&A or any reaction at the end of the session or at the end of my training sessions so that everyone is more relaxed and everyone is we can jump from one topic to another. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away. I'll be happy to assist you. Again, if you are a small business owner, you're welcome to ask me. Grace, if you have any questions, anything I can help you with, now is the best time to ask. Now is the best time for you to. I write a lot. Sometimes I just flow. So, yes, I understand. Yeah. Can you share with me, Grace? You mentioned that you are a small business owner and you're selling jewelry. Do you sell that to like person to person, or you go to different establishments and you supply them with bulk production? The reason for asking that is because the approach, this will be for another workshop if I want to go, if I want to deep dive on this topic. There's different approach when we're doing bulk sales and you're doing individual sales. So this is depending on what product you're selling. So Grace says, yes, I used to do that, but I've gotten a little lazy now since the holidays ended. Okay. Well, it's 2025. You can create new approach to your business. What I like about first quarter of 2025 or every year is you can reset what you're doing, whether for your personal, for your health, for your mental, for your sales, for your business. For me, that's the best time to restructure. If you want to restructure your approach, your marketing approach, your business approach, this is definitely the beginning of this is the perfect time to do that. It's the most motivating time to do is the first quarter of the year. Yes. Like for me, I used to do a lot of long form videos. The past, I think I've created 130 videos already in my channel. I feel that now I'm focused on a lot of workshops, a lot of live stream like this, not only because of the ease in doing that. Don't get me wrong, it's also hard work to do live stream training like this. Um, because if you're recording it, I can edit it. I have my time to edit, add some music and effects. But I find that my my client, my customers, my viewers are getting most of me when it's live stream because it's always deep dive. It's always more in depth. I mean, usually long form video is 15 to 20 minutes. So if you want a shortcut training, I have some of that on my playlist. But I feel that because it's first quarter of the year, exactly what we were talking about, Grace, is the first quarter of the year. So everyone is really struggling with getting a good momentum with their businesses. And as a salesperson, I remember when I was in sales, the Q1 or the quarter one, when our bosses will give us the KPI for Q1, it is so nerve wracking because, of course, you want to get into it. You want to hit your budget. You want to hit your revenue and your profitability as early as possible on Q1. So, really starting with the right foot in, meaning you're really understanding the right strategies, the right approach that you're using. That's why I'm driven to do a lot of workshops because this is also to benefit myself. It also allows me to practice my training skills. I'm also a sales coach by profession. So this is something my clients outside YouTube would be able to watch and have a preview of my coaching style. And so every time I go live stream, it's a win-win situation. My viewers get the most out of it. I'm able to go deep dive on topics that I understand and I'm expert with. And in the future, if I will have clients who would bump into my channel and say, hey, we are a university and we have some salespeople, they needed some coaching services. And then they can watch live streams like this and they get to see how in depth and how much knowledge I do have as a salesperson and as a sales coach. Yes, Grace, because now I'm on Poshmark. I don't know if you heard about them. No, please educate me. Please educate me. What do you mean by Poshmark? I would love to know what a Poshmark means. Is it like on a trial? Is Poshmark means you're on a trial or you're on a, let me see if I can understand the term. Like a starter? It's selling the app, which a lot of people sell this almost like Amazon. Oh, okay. That is actually a very interesting topic. If anyone here watching this replay and you are doing Poshmark or you're selling through app, I heard about that. I think I know a lot of people are successful in selling um, through Amazon, like the reviews, those kind of stuff. I've never explored that. I'm not that adventurous, if you may. I try to stay on my lane and I try to stay on the lane that I'm very good at so that I'm really delivering the credibility to my viewers. So it's a selling app. You sell clothes and some. Oh, so this is like is it like what they call Etsy? ETSY? I see a lot of video tutorial about Etsy. I've watched one briefly and then I thought, "Oh, that's interesting." So you sell clothes and some of your jewelry, shoes and bags. Okay. And do you sell that within the US or do you sell that outside US as well? The reason why I'm asking is here in Singapore, I do have a Taiwanese girlfriend, and she is actually, oh, it's almost Etsy. So, my Taiwanese friend here in Singapore, she sells products from the US, different products from the US, and she sells it on Lazada. I don't know if you're familiar with Lazada. So, she sells it on Lazada. And she makes a lot of money from doing that. And again, it's a small business, but she is also like a mom like me. So she's looking for something that she could work with or work from home with. They sell out of state. Ah, okay, okay. Yeah. So here in Singapore, it's very common um for young entrepreneurs or small entrepreneurs to be selling products from overseas, particularly for places like US, and then they sell it here in Asia. Yeah. And then of course they are able I don't think I can do that. I think it's a lot of work because my friend, I remember when she's doing that, I haven't seen her in so long and we're neighbors because she's constantly packaging, whenever orders come, she has to pack it and she has to schedule the delivery. So it's really a super full-time job, but the only thing that she like about that is the freedom to work from home. And that's why I love YouTube. I love what I'm doing with this channel because I really enjoy the freedom to do something from home, and I was yesterday I did two live and then after that I started baking bread because it was supposed to be bread for dinner with a bunch of sandwiches. It was like a sandwich kind of dinner for our family. So I baked two different bread, but I did two live stream, and I did some editing, and then I run the laundry, I vacuumed the floor, I clean up the house. So that's why I like working from home, because I get to do so much, and I'm able to juggle a lot of things. Like most mommies, most female, we are always wearing different hats every day. So that's what I really enjoy about it, that I'm able to do a bunch of things and accomplish a lot on my list in a day. So that's why I couldn't imagine myself going back to the office anymore, because you're stuck there. And I think the creative aspect when you're working for a corporation, like which I have done all my life, is your creativity is very limited, because someone is always going to say, no, 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 we cannot do that. Or there's a lot of things you're not actually allowed to do. So for me, it's like I enjoy the freedom of YouTube content creating, and I associate that with my coaching business, and the freedom, the liberty, and of course, this is the creative space for me. Yes, they even just started live there now on Poshmark. Oh, I have to check the Poshmark then. I have never really. First, I'm not a big shopper online. I'm not an online shopper. I only online shop when Amazon, for example, this mic, when I order this in the States, okay. But generally, I'm not very familiar with that. So I learned something today from you, Grace. Poshmark. Wow. Okay. Kind of like Hallmark. So is this like they sell everything? So you basically have your stuff that you're selling there. You're selling your own stuff there. I gotta look it up then. Very interesting. Yeah, here in Asia or in Singapore, we do have, generally where we go is, hi Omar, how are you? Generally, we go through Amazon, or we go to Lazada. Or yeah, if you mentioned Poshmark, we just finished a big session. Omar, meet Grace. There's two of you left on today's live stream. We just finished the workshop for Sales 101. I will have YouTube run the copyright as usual. And then once that's done, then I would be able to put on the timestamp as usual. Pumpkin, you're here. Why are you guys on incognito? It is so funny. You guys are just not even saying a word. Hi, Pumpkin. Hi, Omar. So, and then we have Grace. So, yeah. So, we were just talking about ways to make money, you know. But at the same time, I just want to share, since Pumpkin and Omar are here, I've just finished a workshop yesterday for small content creator. I know sales training may be boring for you guys, but my the content, the live stream I've conducted yesterday, it was actually related to content creating. So I'm just waiting for YouTube to send it back to me. Then I can do the copyright. They run the copyright, and I can do the timestamp. Yeah, because you're a trainer also, Omar. That's why this is not a boring topic for you. So I always like listening to other fellow sales trainer and pick up some ideas. So yeah, I want to share, because we have Pumpkin here. Omar, Pumpkin is also one of the regulars in the community, and Grace, Pumpkin is also one of the regulars. I think I can, since we have content creators from the community here, Pumpkin is very big with doing live stream when she's sleeping. I know that Grace also do this. I want to learn from this, because this is another way to generate view hours. So now let's park the sales training part, because that's done on today's live stream. But since we have content creators here, I think the big topic that I wanted to share or talk to you guys about on live stream like this is because I know a lot of content creators within my community. When they do live stream, sometimes it's just a music background and they leave it overnight. And we know that generating view hours is the toughest. Even if I've reached 1,000 plus subscribers now, I'm still really far from my view hours. This is the reason why I want to learn how that works with those who stream, live stream overnight. And it's basically like a place for you to generate view hours, but also to have your community to communicate, to exchange information and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've never done it. Do you guys? I mean, Pumpkin and Grace, they do that a lot. I know Pumpkin said she uses iOS. Miss Grace, what do you use there? And Omar, have you done it? Have you done any live? I've never done it, like the overnight live stream where you let your live stream run and you just generate more hours by doing that. Yes, I did actually. My ebook is basic. I parked the ebook idea because only because I want to be 1 year on YouTube, meaning 1 year creating contents. And from 1 year creating contents, I signed up for the designer R, and these guys would translate your videos into ebooks. So I feel that when I want to do my ebooks, I want to make sure I've done 1 year of content creating, and I can select mostly the live stream because live stream is more organic, it's more spontaneous, there's more substance, there's more, it's jam packed with information. This is the reason why I focus a lot on a lot of live stream as well, or workshop as I call it, because it's easier for me to create an ebook after a year because everything in here will just be translated into text, if that makes sense. Omar, you haven't done any live yet. I would recommend you give it a shot because it's a good avenue also to practice your content creating, your communication skill, and I feel that it's such a good place to rehearse and polish your coaching skill, and you'll be amazed how much you learn about yourself when you do live stream because nothing is scripted. You're just talking and talking. And what I like about live stream is you record it, it's live, everything comes out, and when it's back to you, you can review it. And that's why I like to do timestamp, because when I do the timestamp, I can take note of those chapters which is connected to me doing an ebook. So to your question, the best way, if you're leaning on creating an ebook later on, go hardcore on live stream. If you're doing sales training or whatever tutorial that you're teaching your viewers, go on live stream and it's easier. Destiny, hi Destin. Oh my god, everyone is coming back here. Oh my God. All my viewers are from the US. We have Grace, we have Omar, we have Pumpkin, and she's always incognito with her tacos. And then Destined to Recover. Everyone is here. Hi, guys. It is so nice to see the regulars. It's so different when regulars are here because it feels like it's just a Zoom chat with friends. Yes. So, yeah, I think if so, I can see Grace. You mentioned that you do. Okay, Destin, you are big with live stream and even your aquarium at night. So we were just to fill in Destin, who just joined. I think the subject matter now is how can we actually generate more watch hours? Because I think for Pumpkin, you've already ahead of me with subscribers. I don't know how you did that. Destined, in no time, you'll be away from me with thousands of subscribers. But we know that the toughest is really the watch hours. So I've seen at least Destin, Pumpkin, Grace, or Conscious Vibes. I see you guys do a lot of live stream, what they call the overnight live stream. I've never done it. And I feel that, I suppose you guys get really a lot of view hours from that. I'm just worried that it might push away viewers who really come to my channel for sales training when they see me publish overnight live stream that has nothing to do with sales but just music. Share with us your experience, like in terms of your hours, in terms of your success on doing overnight live stream. I mean, I see Destin sometimes it's focused on her aquarium. While you're sleeping, you're generating view hours. I know that Pumpkin, she likes to play a lot of really dance music. So that's attractive as well. So the viewers can kind of mingle like this and there's music in the background. Just restream your past live stream. Oh, oh, I didn't know that. Can you can do that, Destin? Wow, I have never done that before because I have a lot of um live workshop, as you know, and it's all probably boring because it's just all sales training. Nothing fun, but just pure education. But I've never done restreaming. That's a great idea. Restream is what it's called. How do you do that, Destin? So you go to your previously published live stream and then you restream the link on YouTube Studio as well. Can you share to us how you do that so we can all learn how to do that? I must try that. Pumpkin, I was only 3 hours, 44 hours on last night, but I made 11. Wow. I know, Pumpkin, I was on your live stream yesterday and I visit your live stream, guys, and sometimes I keep it in the background. So it's just really sometimes if I have time I communicate with other viewers, but it's really so important to for the algorithm to see that when you have live stream you have regular people coming together or you have views there. I'm gonna check it out. You can download your past live stream and then upload it onto StreamYard. Oh, I'm gonna check it out. So Omar, you're gonna have to try doing your live as well because this is really gonna help you. Omar also is equally new in the game, and so as Conscious Vibes. So you're gonna please connect here in this community and see how we can all learn from each other to get on that 4,000 watch hours. It's so far, but then again, we'll make this. And then I've learned how to make songs with AI by joining a live. Majoy and I made some songs for my team and they were hype about it. Wow. Okay. AI, I've never explored that. So restream AI. Let me put that on my note. I need to make notes here and learn from you guys because I have never done restream and AI. StreamYard. StreamYard. So I know that you do live, Destin, and when you do live, I notice you also use StreamYard a lot. For me, I use YouTube Studio. I don't know how the quality is translated to the viewer if you're watching it on replay in terms of YouTube Studio when you do live stream compared to when you do live stream using StreamYard. In terms of the audio, in terms of the video quality. So Destin said you can download your past live stream. Okay, I'm gonna try that. Pumpkin, you are rocking it. Really, your view hours and your subscribers are going bananas. See, we're learning here. See, this is why I want to run sometimes that overnight live stream because then, but just want to stay relevant as well to my viewers. I want my viewers to say, okay, she's doing live overnight live stream, but it has value for my time. But then again, my community, especially in the US, a lot of my viewers, guys, are from the US. When I see my analytics, is majority in the US. So you guys are all on the same time zone. So I need to set this up so when I leave the live stream, you guys can jump in there and connect with the subscribers in my channel because they're all in the US. I don't know why majority of my viewers are in the US and a bit in the Philippines and a bit in little very little in Singapore. But ever since this channel was launched, it's all in the US. So, and as you know, I have lived in the US. I have lived in 3 different states in early 2000s before migrated to Singapore. So a little trivia, I've lived in Minnesota. So that was the very first state I came to when I moved to the States. It was cold, it was Midwest, it was beautiful. I enjoyed that. Then Minnesota, and then I moved to um, San Diego. Yes, because I was working for Wells Fargo Bank. Another trivia about me. I work for Wells Fargo Bank. That was my first job when I moved to the States. I was a personal banker. So that's where I'm able to use all my sales experience. So the beauty of working for a company like Wells Fargo, because it's all over the US, I was able to request for a transfer. If I say, look, I want to try to move to another state. And so they managed to find a job for me as a personal banker in San Diego. So then I moved there. And then after Minnesota, after San Diego, I moved to New Jersey. So how funny is that? So I had Minnesota, San Diego, and then New Jersey. And then New Jersey, I remember going to Atlantic City on the weekend, boardwalk, all these places. Oh my God! I didn't play the casino though, but I remember those places are quite fun to explore when you're young and single. So yeah, so those places. I've lived in the States, so I'm very interested. It's just interesting to see a lot of American viewers or viewers from the US. Pumpkin, I just realized I have 1,430 subscribers. I get so busy that I don't look. Guys, if you see Pumpkin's channel, because I go to her channel, listen, when you have live stream, I go to your live stream. I check you out. When you post new video, as long as I can see the notification, which I've talked about in one of the workshop. I don't know if YouTube sometimes is acting up. Sometimes I see notification of channels with new content, and sometimes they don't. So sometimes when you comment on my channel, that's when I'm reminded, oh, I haven't been to Omar's channel because I don't see any notification that you do have new content. Usually the live, I can see the notification for whatever reason. And Pumpkin, I see your subscribers have gone faster. You're really going faster. You're even far away from when we met. I think I was a bit ahead of you, and then you're away from me now. You're doing a great job. Yeah, Pumpkin is very good with she's got a good community as well, I have to say. And Destin, don't get me started. Destin and Pumpkin have really good. Whenever I go to their live, they really have a lot of regular subscribers, and they really connect. And I think the bottom line here, guys, is we are not selfish to share our space for content creators to connect, to promote their channel, and all these things. I think that's the reason why you build a community like that. And I could say that for Pumpkin and Destin when I joined their live. It's and sorry, and Grace. What am I talking? I forgot about Grace. Grace as well do the same. You really allow your first, it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you anything to allow your subscribers, we're all small channels, to allow your fellow content creators. We all share the same struggle. If you allow them to mingle around, it's kind of like an open party. If it's kind of like a house party and you open the door and you just allow everyone to connect. And that's how you maintain loyalty from your subscribers. That's how you see your subscribers mingle around and they join your live and they allow you to promote your channel. Destin is very good. I see she also, and Pumpkin, I see you guys on your community post. You also post what's the live stream, upcoming live stream of certain subscribers in your channel or someone close to 500 subscribers. I've seen that on community posts. So those are the things that can really create a very good community. I think the bottom line for small channels is really being able to create a good community in your channel. It doesn't matter how big or small your channel is, but if you have a community that talks to each other and all that. And you know what I don't like is when they subscribe and they don't check my channel or my content. And I have said this many times to all my friends and relatives. I told them, please unsubscribe to my channel if you're not watching my content because you're just penalizing my algorithm or my analytics. I told my sister, you can unsubscribe if you're not watching. Because it's true. If you're not watching, you better not subscribe. I always say I was on your live conscious vibes one time, and somebody said I'll subscribe to you, and I said to you, you know, I mean, please, if you subscribe, the best you could do is also to check out the content. That's why I prefer to subscribe to a content that either is interesting for me or I could learn from, or something entertaining, but something I would check out on. We have another regular here. She's just not here right now, but she does Bible reading. So every day she reads a Bible page, or say a reading from the Bible. Sorry. And so I follow her channel because I don't get to read the Bible every day, but sometimes I can listen to her. It's a short video, and I'm able to support her, and I'm able to get a little bit of something from her content. And it goes a long way for her, to have people who watch, because we are all on the same boat. Let's see the message here. I'm always in the live, Pumpkin. I'm always in the lives. I visit everyone when you do, Pumpkin. And you know what's funny about you, Pumpkin? Sometimes I don't even know you're here. Like now, you just came out of nowhere. It's like you're one of those who hide behind the curtain and then you say peekaboo. So Pumpkin is, yeah, I know Pumpkin. Pumpkin is always the. How cold is it there, Pumpkin? Destin and Pumpkin, you guys are in a very cold place. I know Pumpkin showed her shorts. It was freezing. It's crazy white, too much snow and icy. And so was Destin. Destin is one of another hardworking content creator. She has, I don't know, 15 jobs. Destin. Conscious vibes. Yeah, you don't like it. Yeah, Destin. It hurts. It really hurts when they subscribe and they don't watch, especially our family members. I really mean it. I have already asked my family members and say, please unsubscribe. I don't mind. I'm already over 1,000 subscribers. If you're not gonna watch, just unsubscribe. um, and then they look at me like, now you're so arrogant because you have 1,000 subscriber. I was like, whatever. So this is the little conversation you have with your family members who don't want to watch your content. I told them, just run the video, leave the phone alone for an hour. It's a live stream, leave it alone. And you help me, you can support me. I spent 2 days watching subscribers' content on my. Yeah, I think it's very important to do that. It's also like we get what we only get what we give in life, right? It's a good karma as well to do something goodwill to our fellow content creators who are also showing love and support. And yeah, I spent 2 days. Okay, Pumpkin, it's up to you to go look for them. Use your subscription button. And when you go to see shorts, click on subscribers. It only shows the subscriber shorts. What do you mean by that? Hold on. But it's up to you to go look for them. Yeah, I go to subscription button. I do because like I said, I don't get notification from YouTube. I don't get like, I don't know, guys. I mean, many years ago, before I became a content creator, whenever there is a notification from the channels that I follow, especially during COVID. Everyone's on YouTube. I'm watching all the baking show on YouTube. I always get notified every single time. It will pop, the channels that I follow, what they have or what they have new. So I don't see that anymore. So intentionally, I really go to the subscription first and go through the whole list of the ones I subscribe and see which one has a new content or on live. That's how I do it as well. That's how I find you guys when you're on live stream. I go to community post to okay, community post is 13 degree right now. Holy moly. It is actually 30 degrees in Singapore, which is about 80s in Fahrenheit. You can see behind me, it's 12:30 in the afternoon. It's very bright and sunny. Um, okay, Omar, I go to community post to find easier. Community post also I use that a lot. I also use that a lot. I really go um so I think my question here, since we talk about somebody raised community post, do you actually get notification for community post or you just purposely go to every channel? Because that's also a lot of work. Sometimes I also don't know who has posted something. Like if someone is promoting live, I wouldn't know because when I scroll on the YouTube homepage, it would show community posts, even people that are not in my community. So I have to go to individual again, like Pumpkin said, I had to go to individual channel page And that's how I discover if you have something that you posted. Yeah, 2 days of watching. Yeah, it happens. Yeah. Okay, so do you know what's funny? Since you mentioned 2 days of watching, Destin, I have days when I'm actually over consuming YouTube, and then I ask myself, I should be resting my brain from YouTube. I feel like as a content creator, we are full time on YouTube. Like it's unbelievable the amount of time we have on YouTube, whether you're consuming or you're snooping around or you're supporting your content creators in your community. Yeah. Nice weather. Yes, Destin, it's nice weather here. And yeah, I'm from Asia. This is our normal way of life. So whenever I go to Germany or cold places, I die. I just die. I can't handle the cold, And how cold is it in Texas? So we have okay, Destin and Omar, you're both in Texas. I know that. Conscious Vibes. Where are you again in the States? I know that Pumpkin is in Michigan. Yeah, you guys are in Texas. I've never been to Texas. I have friends in Texas. There's a huge Filipino community in Texas. Oh, San Antonio, 29. That's not so bad. Oh, someone is from Florida. Someone is flashing how nice weather she has there. Ah, okay, okay. So you're from Florida. Wow, I've never been to Florida. I have Filipino friends in Florida. As you know, Filipinos are everywhere in the States. So I always have friends in a lot of parts in the US. That's cold for us. Yeah. Well, I experienced the summer in Jersey. I experienced summer in San Diego. I experienced summer in Minnesota. So I know the summer in the States is dry heat. In Asia, we have humidity. Like in Singapore, because we're so close to the equator, we are sometimes 70, 80 degrees humidity, and the temperature is, let's say, 24 degrees centigrade. So that would be somewhere around 50s or 60s, but 70% to 80% humidity. Odd weather in Texas. Yeah. Jamaica. Yeah, Jamaica is nice. I would love to go to Jamaica, but I'm not sure if it's actually something I could do now that I have kids because, traveling with kids is such a pain. Um, yeah, Jamaica is nice. Destin, what time are you guys going on live? Is anyone here going on live today so I can actually join in and make sure that even if I'm cleaning and I'm cooking, it's running in my laptop. I usually run my laptop or my smartphone when I'm listening or joining someone's live. So, Omar, don't forget to start doing your live stream because that would also help you to um, practice your coaching skills. And if you want to do casual live, like what I did today is always my workshop is I get the sales training out of the way. And then if there's viewers like today, everyone is still up, then we go through some kind of catch up with the community. So yes, it will soon during work hours, hard after work, probably during a work break. Yeah. Destin, I gotta learn from Destin, Pumpkin, and Conscious Vibes. I'm still very new to the whole live stream with community because, again, the number one problem I have is the time difference. Of course, I'm just grateful that I have viewers from the US who are, some of you are 12 hours ahead of me, some of you are 14 hours, some of you are 10 hours, depending on the state. But yeah, really, I took note, Restream and AI and StreamYard. I need to work on that. I need to see how I can actually. Destin, can you share with us your success with the hours? I mean, Pumpkin had already posted how much hours she had generated or view hours when you do your overnight live stream. So you just leave your phone, you turn it on and you leave your phone. and you just leave it on like that, and then you wake up to 10 hours of views. Wow. That's why, Omar, I recommend live stream for you since you haven't. There's so many benefits on live stream. At the same time, it helps you also to um, generate view hours, and of course, it strengthen your community. Yes, that's what I do. I don't think people want to see me sleep. Well, yeah, or hear you. I don't think they want to hear me snore. Overnight is only 12 hours, I believe. I don't think Gloria would like it either. People prefer. Yes, Destin. You know what's so funny? Because whenever I want to use the word catch. When I catch all of you from the States who are doing live stream, when I catch your live stream, it's either you're going to work and I'm getting ready for let's say, I know that Destin, sometimes you start working at midnight. I think the other night you were starting your work at midnight. And that was like 2 p.m. I'm preparing dinner, or I'm doing laundry, or I'm cleaning the house, or my kids are coming back from school, so getting ready to do homework and all those stuff. So, yeah, I think it's good to run the overnight. Um, Make a song for your channel using Suno. It's a fun app. I'm gonna try that one. Thanks for that, Omar. So you just run that song, because what I'm thinking is I want to probably run a motivational um, background music or video that is still related to sales. That's exactly what I wanted to do. So at least it's still kind of connected. But when Destin said I can restream my live, that may not be a bad thing. I love that. That's actually a good idea. Just because I also have a lot of live stream content, you type what you want the song to be about and it puts out. So you download it on your mobile, I suppose. Omar, you download Suno on your mobile, and then you basically type the song you want to be about, and it puts out in second because it's AI operated, right? And then you just stream that as your live. Is that what you're saying? There's no copyright infringement there, right? Destin, I know you do a lot. Oh no, so Pumpkin, I want to ask you because you do a lot of music as well. Maybe you can share to us. Pumpkin uses music on her live stream, overnight live stream. And when she does that, she would play some music, and that is also a different vibe for your viewers, because your viewers might be like this, socializing online, but at the same time, they're able to listen to a music in the background. Yeah, we're learning a lot here, guys. This is so awesome. Again, we have some experts here who are. So I want to share with you, since you guys are here, okay? I don't know if you guys were able to catch up on the workshop for content creating in this channel. As you know, I do that every week. But I thought I want to share with you, since you guys look like you're still awake. I want to share one tip. If you've never had a chance to watch, I totally understand that, because we're all busy as well. If you've never watched the last workshop, I talk about YouTube banner. So I just want to highlight that, because that was the number one tip I had on my workshop last week. And I talked about YouTube banner because I don't know about your channels, but I have paid, okay, let me share this to you briefly. I have paid a YouTube guru last 3 weeks ago. He's actually a big channel, and I paid him. I subscribed to his service to what he calls YouTube channel audit. He's auditing my channel. So, because my channel is coming to 6 months, I don't need a YouTube guru to tell me how to do title, description, and all these things. I think we've all passed that at this point. But what I like about this service is he went to my channel and he reviewed all that I've done, good and bad, right and wrong. And he suggested to me, he highlighted to me my YouTube banner. That's why when I do the workshop lately, it's all from the learnings I got from this guy or from this YouTube guru. So he called out my attention on my YouTube banner. So yeah, so I'll share this to you guys. So at least it's worth your time joining on live. If you have not watched, you don't have time to watch the live stream, I'll pick up some really good points from that guy. So this guy, he basically highlighted my YouTube banner. He said, your YouTube banner needs to be SEO friendly or optimized. It needs to be as good as your thumbnail. It needs to be conveying a message about your channel. So then I thought, wow, I never thought about that. I've never really done that before. Although I've experimented on three thumbnails since day one of my channel. And that's what we do. We experiment, we learn as we go, we fail as we go. And so he said, create a very simple YouTube banner. I use Canva, but he said, when you do your YouTube banner, forget about the design so much because that's kind of like the backdrop of the message. It has to convey a message. So he asked me, what is the message of your channel? I said, well, I would say I'm a sales coach, full time sales coach. This is all I would predominantly deliver on my channel. And he said, okay, you do have a website, which I do, where I offer sales courses. He said, you want that to be aligned with each other. And how to do that is to basically create a banner that would send that message. Because he said the truth is, when people check the channel, they don't, just like thumbnail, right? The first impression of the visual part, like how to make a sale, if that's the wordings on my thumbnail, it would be something attractive to, so the viewer would already know before clicking the video that, hey, this is about how to make a sale, right? So he said, recreate your banner and make it look like you are sending a message to anyone who bump into that channel page. So I changed mine. Before, I just used my name, Majoy Dasha, trainer, blah blah blah. And then he said, okay, while it's not wrong, but you can improve. There's always way to improve. So this guy, he said, our goal is to improve every single thing in your channel by 1%. Your skill to title, to creating title, your skill to creating description, your skill to understanding how content creating works and how YouTube works. We want to increase that by 1% every time we meet. So I said, great. Pumpkin, thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming back. I'll join your live if you have live later. Okay, so again, let me share this to you guys. This is very good. So when you go to, I can't get it the right size. Oh, you know what, Destin? I want to talk about the size. I had the challenge before. So you go to Canva. Are you using Canva? So you go to Canva and then you select, obviously, you search YouTube banner and you create a design. And then how you test, because the thing with banner is you can't put so much compared to a thumbnail, because the truth is you don't need to put so much on a banner. Like this YouTube guru said to me, Majoy, make sure your YouTube banner conveys a message to your viewer or to new viewers or to someone who bump into your channel. So what I did with mine, I just put sales, schools, sales, communication, telemarketing. And then of course, that's exactly what my channel is about. And that's all the space can accommodate. So I agree to you, Destin. You know, you can't get it the right size because sometimes I've experienced that in one of my designs before. When I upload it, it's like cut into half or the ends of the banner are not showing. So just make sure you put everything in the center and just put really the words that describes your channel, so whoever bump into it would say, okay, this channel is about this. Or let's say let's say your channel is baking, right? Instead of saying baking, you might want to say baking smart or smart baking, something like that. So that's one. And then yeah, check your banner, sorry. Check your banner, because if your banner is not really it's not really conveying the message about your channel, it defeats the purpose. So when he told me that, I was like, okay, I'm learning from this guy. And you know what's interesting? There are tips that these gurus don't give to their channel unless you pay them. So because it's a paid service, he was able to share to me things and ideas that I thought this is worth every dollar. So then I thought, look, I have been doing um, live stream within my community talking about like something like this. How do you do your design? How do you do your live stream? Kind of like conversational within the community. That was the initiative, or that was, sorry, that was the initial flow for my channel back in November. Some of you were already in the channel when, even when I was in Germany, we would be doing live stream and we talk about what we've done wrong and what's working for us and what's not working for us. So I thought I'll just do it every week, because every week I have a session with him, and every week he audits my channel and he gives me really valuable feedback that I paid for. And okay, I want to share this. If you're still awake, just let me know. There's another tip I got from him, which was in my workshop last week. He said, okay, so I posted a long form video. I haven't done long form video in a while. If you notice, I've just been on live stream marathon. I have a separate reason for that. That's going to do with the ebooks as well, Omar. That's linked to that. So anyway, here's the thing. I created one long form video. He asked me, okay, when I signed up to him, he said, I want you to create a this is a very good tip. Please listen to this. Let me sit down properly. He said, okay, after my session with him, before he was gonna audit my channel, he said, Majoy, I want you to create a video, long form video. I want you to title the video very close to your competitor's video. I want you to be a second, a few seconds longer than that particular video of your competitor. And I want you to create it originally, your own take. If the topic is how to prevent sales objection, that was the video. He said, I want to make sure that you look at the thumbnail of that competitor. What was the theme of that video? This is big. So I said, okay. So I said to him, I'm happy to talk about how to prevent sales objections because it's on my playlist before, and I have a lot of things to say about that. This time, he instructed me to check my competitor who is talking about, or who created a video that's talk about how to prevent sales objection. Check. I look at the thumbnail, the pattern of design. It's impressive. When I search my competitor for that particular topic, there's 3 or 4 content creators within my niche, and the design of thumbnail is so similar to one another. Let me tell you what is the similarity that I discovered that is so intentional with these big channels. The theme is they all had blackboard, and they put on the blackboard exactly what the video is about, or what is the problem of the viewer, how to prevent sales objection. And then whoever created the video longest in that trend is always above on the rank. So I said, look, I have nothing to lose. I paid this guy to help me out to improve my channel. So I did that. I did my homework. And guys, it did not go viral. It's not viral. I'm not aiming for viral, because viral can be not sustainable. It's not sustainable to go viral. You want to be steady. Like, you want your channel, your contents to pick up slowly but really good. So here's the thing. So I posted it and I followed him and I said, look, I have nothing to lose. I'm just going to try it. Everything in that content, Omar and Grace and Destin, everything in that content is intentionally done. Because I used to create a video based on, okay, I know the topic, I'll create it according to how long I can talk on that video with essence, of course. And I'll create a thumbnail to my eyes would be so attractive. Fine. This time I did exactly what he's asked me to do. The result, the result is amazing. When we went to review the result, right? I said to him, few days, I said to him, how come I was expecting more views. He said to me, Majoy, I said to him, I have a habit of changing my thumbnail or my title maybe once a month if I see that the video is stagnant and not moving. So I told him, the views are low, so can I change the thumbnail? I said to him. And he said, no, I don't recommend that because your CTR, your click through rate, is almost 2%. While that is not high, but it needs time. It needs days. Sometimes content creators like us, we are so impatient. You publish something and you're already like, how come there's only 20 views? How come there's only 10 views? Right? It's been 2 days. The views are so low. So he said, don't focus on the view because view is 30 seconds. Okay. He said, I want you to understand your analytics in terms of what is the CTR. When your CTR is going up, it means people like the thumbnail. People find your thumbnail attractive and they click the video because that's the gateway to the whole idea of generating view hours, getting subscribers, getting likes, getting comments, adding people to your community, right? So that's basically the beginning of the whole process. So I said, okay, so I'm not going to change the thumbnail. He said, no, don't change the thumbnail. You follow the thumbnail like your competitors. Just leave it. And I would say a couple of days later, I have seen the improvement on CTR. The views are okay. It's not huge. It's standard to my channel, like 50, 60 views in 2 weeks or something like that. It's not a lot. But I can tell you when I see the CTR, let me quickly see if I can show you. When I check the CTR, I was so impressed that the CTR is growing. But here's the kicker. Here is the kicker. He said to me, go to that particular video, go to the search button, search that topic, and see where you are with your competitor. I'm basically aligned with them. So when I search how to prevent objections, I'm next to these big channels on the ranking. And he said to me, the reason why you are already within their ranking is because of a lot of similarity with your content, the thumbnail design, the length. You're longer than them by a second above. If you can go 5 minutes longer, if you can go longer than that, you're most likely to be above them in terms of ranking. So, you probably caught the news on YouTube, maybe before even 2025, where they talk about how 2025 will be a year for small content creator in terms of YouTube pushing their content. I never believed that. I was like, before had this guy to audit my channel, I never believed that. I was like, oh, really? I still search my video and it doesn't show. I don't see my video on on the ranking. But after this guy, after following the simple formula, but they don't talk about this on their channel. If you watch these big channels, they don't disclose this level of work that they intentionally, deliberately do before creating a content. Yes, they tell us your thumbnail, your thumbnail should be like this, your title should be like this, your description should be like this, but the whole intentional approach, I was really impressed to see the movement. Again, I was not aiming to go viral. I think it's very hard to go viral on YouTube nowadays unless I swallow my dog, I swallow my hamster. I think I'll go viral if I do that. But on a serious note, it's so hard to go viral now. So the key is really the progress that we could make for our videos one after the other. I'm gonna check quickly the analytics for that, just because I haven't done that lately, just to see how that is in terms of, did it do any difference to. Okay, so here, that's the one, right? How to prevent. Can you see how to prevent sales objection? So I published this on Feb 6. This is the only long form video I created since I had this guy. So you see the time, 30 minutes 42 seconds. Okay, so 64 views. Impression click through rate is 3.4%, and look at the average view duration, 8.8 minutes and 13 seconds. Not only that, the reach is 1,300, meaning YouTube is publishing or pushing that video. The impression, again, this is got to do with the thumbnail, is 3.4%. It's not the greatest, but I had 1% majority or less than 2% majority of my CTR. Also, he highlighted this to me. He said, Majoy, you also have to pay attention on the returning viewers, because returning viewers are really not just giving you the watch hours, but at the same time, they are the ones who really trigger the algorithm to keep pushing your video. And that's why even the unique viewers is 41. So again, the numbers is not great. It's not huge, put it that way. But he said the fact that you generated 8 hours 7 minutes for that video out of 64 views. And again, this is just an example of the baby step that I noticed just from those little um, mindful initiative when I'm creating a video. So Destin, you mentioned maybe the video should have been shorter. You know what? The thing is, this guy suggested to me that YouTube is pushing longer videos because they make more money on ad. So he said, you don't want to go short, you don't want to go below them in terms of the length of your video, especially the nature of my content is education. So he said, if those viewers who watch these videos, let's say my competitor is 2 years ago, right? He posted that how to prevent sales objection 2 years ago. I am posting a video on that content right now in 2025. So he said, if you're posting less time than your competitor, YouTube is probably not going to push that because they're not going to make ad money from you. They would still push the other one because it's longer than you. So that's the logic behind that. So there's the balance. You're trying to find the balance of YouTube pushing my content because they're going to make money of that based on ad. At the same time, my viewers, my new viewers who used to watch those competitors who published the same video 2 years ago, they would say, hey, this is new and this looks like more jam-packed with teachings or sales tip. Yeah, try to do that, Omar. Please don't. I mean, we just have to try. That's the thing. Everything is trial and error. Someone 4 minutes got grades. Yeah, I think destined depends really on the content. If I can be really, thank you, Grace. Have a good night, my dear. I'll see you on your live. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed today's sales training earlier. Um, yeah, but I think Destin, what I wanted to say, right? Because like for you, okay, when I see your channel, when I see your views in terms of your live stream, Your live stream is jam packed with people. Those are your viewers, those are your subscribers. But they're happy to watch you cook something. They're happy to sit there when you're in your workplace and they're just mingling around with other viewers. Because that's your viewers. That's what makes them watch. That's what makes them stay long on your live stream. Compared to the nature of my channel, my competitors, it's about who your competitors are, really. So, can you think, Destin, of your competitors in your niche? And that's when you want to kind of base what type of format are you creating in order for those people. Basically, the idea is simple. If my competitor is a big channel who had posted how to prevent sales objection 2 years ago, I want to keep referring to this as an example because this is a real example. This is really a real channel, a real video. And let's say when I look at the views from that particular topic, right? He posted it 2 years ago. He has the same title as me. He has the same similar timestamp as me, and the quality or the content in his video is similar to mine. He had, let's say, 150,000 views. I want a fraction of that 150,000 views. So to do that, I need to also align myself with my competitor in that respect. But I guess depends on, okay, you never look at your competition, because I think your niche is kind of like a day in your life, right? And I think a day in your life is very personal. It's how your audience like you as a person. And I think, Destin, you have that with your viewers. I mean, I like you, but I'm talking about your whole viewer, right? So when you're doing a day in my life kind of niche, it's a very personal thing. You don't need to look at your competitor because this is your original, authentic self. This is when it's different when you are in the niche like mine and Omar. Our niche is sales, right? But now I see Omar also diverting his channel um, into different direction. Yeah, Destin. It's true, right? If I'm doing a day in my life, I don't need to look at my competitor. I just need to be authentic to myself. And if there's a viewer who like me for the way I present myself in my video, I have a viewer. But for us as sales trainer or content creators providing education or tutorials, you really need to check what your competitor is doing because that's when you can have an idea. Okay, he has 150,000 views there. I want a fraction of that. So therefore, I want to do something similar to what he's done. Because those who watch that video would say, "Oh, look, there's a new channel that YouTube is pushing and her content is similar to that video that I watched 2 years ago. So then I'm going to check her out." That's the whole thing when your niche is like mine. Thank you, Omar. You got this. You're doing it. Thank you. I think I really have a lot of learnings to do, but I think I have had two different mentor. One is at the very beginning of my journey and now auditing and looking at my channel. So I'm happy to share to you guys if that helps you as well. Having fun with it right now. I don't get bored with it. Yeah, Omar started doing like he was doing some cooking or how to make, what was that you made the other day, like a zucchini pasta or something like that. Get back to the sales content. Omar, I said this to you many times. You need to fix your audio. I'm like your mommy here. I mean, for me, audio, when you're doing sales related content, you need to make sure your audio is on point. Never mind never mind the setting. You could be sitting in the kitchen, but if your audio is on point, your viewer will really listen to what you're teaching them. Sometimes you have good days on your audio, I must say, when I watch your videos, but sometimes it's like so soft, I can't hear you. I need to crank up the volume. Yeah. Improve your audio, your microphone. You're using the microphone like the headset, right? Why don't you just buy those like those mini microphone? You don't have to buy expensive one, but I feel like because that one you can really clip it or close it to your mouth. Because I find that your audio is sometimes soft and sometimes it's okay. I'm honest, okay? I told you that my criticism to you ever since is the audio. It's not so good. You need to make it good. So you have viewers to listen to your teaching. Let's see. Destin. Yes, that's how it works, Majoy. Yeah, it's true. I agree 100%. Oh, okay. I want to ask you, Destin. When you do your live, I don't see you with the microphone, but your audio is good. What are you using? Are you hiding your audio clip or your microphone? Because when you do your live, Destin, I can hear that your audio quality is good, but I don't see a mic. How do you do that? What do you use? And your camera, can you share with me, Destin, what camera are you using for your live stream? Are you using your iPhone? Because I'm only using my iPhone when I'm doing my long form videos. And then now I'm using my Mac Air for my live stream. So I haven't really invested on a new camera like you. Destin has a camera, like a real camera, which I saw on one of her videos. Yeah. Omar, it's my phone. It doesn't connect good. I'm going to get new phone next month. Yeah. Yeah. We need to I recommend you get that together before you produce more videos because at least and here this is my personal take on that. I as a salesperson, right? I think my application as a salesperson, as a sales coach is always aligned with being a content creator. Um if my audio is not good, if I'm in a place where I know the quality will not be very good, I don't publish or I don't record. Let me tell you, I have recorded 4 videos the last months that are still in my computer that I haven't published. Because I have, after I recorded it and I look at it like it's not great. It's okay. So I have this is part of my workshop last week, one of the topic on my last week. I told myself one of the list on my content creating workshop, which I'm sharing in application to if I'm actually a salesperson. So okay, these are not the technical part of content creating that I paid someone to help me to do that I share on the live stream. So I have developed this habit of when I create a video, I watch it myself and I consciously look at it and say, is this good enough? Is this just for the sake of publishing something? And I hoarded those 4 videos because it did not pass my quality standard for myself, my quality control. I felt like I thought I was doing good on those video, but when I watch it, it didn't really look so good. In general, the way I speak, the way I pause, the content, the flow, how I look, everything, right? How I sound, all those things. And then I didn't publish because my mindset is very simple. If I'm publishing it's okay quality, or if I publish a long form video where for the sake of it, I am losing more subscribers, I'm losing more views, I'm losing more comments, I'm losing more watch hours because it's not good enough. So that's why I invested on this mic. This is my birthday present to myself. I used to have bags, dresses, jewelry on my birthday. Now I get this baby because I wanted to be able to get it right with my audio because I will be doing podcasts later on. I will be doing more live stream for my ebooks and my tutorial. In my coaching job, I will use this for my Zoom meetings. So I thought I have to invest on good audio because I'm teaching. I need a good tool. This is a good tool for me to start with. So yeah, if it's actually not very good quality, I would not publish it because the bottom line is just imagine how many videos have you come across on YouTube as a consumer? And the impression you're getting is, oh, this is such a, this person created a video for the sake of it, or this video is lame, or there's no personality on this video, there's no vibe, there's no enthusiasm. Then what happens is I lose the viewer. Bye, Destin. You better go to sleep. I will check on your live later. I know you're going to get your 3 hours sleep. I hope you get some rest, my dear. Thanks for joining today, Destin. I appreciate you. Yeah, so Omar, I think that would be my advice. If you feel that your phone is not yet in a good space to produce a good quality audio, I would just buy this. I would just hold on to the material and then just do it when you have a good audio. It's gonna be much. You never know if that video will be the video, the breakthrough video for your channel. You know what I mean? Especially if you know that the content is so good. I have 4 videos I haven't published. I want to recreate it. I want to redo it. But frankly, I've just been obsessed with live stream because first, it's a good way to rehearse for me in my coaching business. Number two, as you know, coach, I have a sales coaching business. So I do have clients outside YouTube who goes to my website and say, hey, I would like for you to do a training for my team. What are your samples? Then I send them over to YouTube. They go to my live stream. So this becomes the sample video for them. And then they decide if they want me to do sales coaching for them. So I think because we're both on the same boat, Omar. That's why I encourage you to do live stream because you can polish, you can really rehearse a lot, you can get yourself more and more and more experience. I find that live stream is the best way to rehearse and to get really better. And there's so many benefits. If you want to do ebooks later on, just connect your live stream content to an app that would convert that into the audio to an ebook. And of course, the bonus is if there's viewers. I have a lot of live streams with 0 viewers, and I'm completely okay with it. Really. Because I turn this into a long form video later on. Once YouTube has done the copyright, it's a content. It's as good as a long form video, only that it's more in depth. It's kind of like a podcast ish material. And at the same time, it is something you can use for the future. You can recycle this. Like I've learned today, you can restream. I've never thought about that. I learned from you guys today. Pumpkin, you're washing dishes. Pumpkin, are you making some tacos today? The other live stream, Pumpkin was making tacos. I was like, really? We don't have access to good tacos in Singapore. There are some tacos places here, but so, not so good. Good news, my team getting stronger and probably set for another promotion. Wow, there you go. So, Omar, like I said, my advice is get your phone, get your microphone, get your audio together. I learned from this guy who was auditing my channel. He said, the good thing is you have good audio and you have decent quality video. He said, there's no issues there. But then he said, Majoy, just remember that majority of the viewers, they stay engaged with good audio, second, good video quality. So what he's saying is if you can't have both, but your audio is good, that is the way for you to generate more viewers, which leads to more subscribers, more watch hours, more comments, more likes, and so on and so forth. So that's why I'm sharing it to you because you're the first person I thought about in my community when he said that. He said first is audio. Audio is always very, very good. Yeah, these lives are awesome. I love live. I really do love live because let me give you one secret why I love live. Apart from the watch hours, apart from the fact that I can rehearse, this is me as a sales trainer, as a person. After my live is done, YouTube will run the copyright. comes back to me, I crop the beginning when there's no one there and I'm just like waiting for someone to come in, and then I cut that part. And then if the end sometimes is too lengthy or not related anymore, whatever. So what I love most about life, right, that I benefit most as a content creator is when I am already going through the chapters and I'm marking the chapters on the live stream. Because what happens there is whatever timestamp, whatever chapters I have indicated on every live stream in terms of topics, I copy and paste that and put that on my playlist inventory, which I've mentioned to you guys already that I do have my own Excel sheet where I copy and paste the topics that I covered. And then I put that on my playlist. Because when I do my live stream, my workshop, my training, even my long form video, I don't have a script. I can't read a script. It's just not gonna work out for me. I have my bullet points, but sometimes I go off the rail and I talk about more things beyond my bullet points. So when I go to my live stream and my timestamp, I copy and paste that to my playlist, and then that gives me more indication of okay, I can go in depth with this topic, or I can explore that topic even more. So yeah. Yes, Omar, it's nice that you came in today. Thanks. I'm happy to see you. Catch up on more lives. Yeah, yeah, please do. Check out more the workshop for content creating, because the last few weeks or the last few days I've been sharing what I learned from my audit guy, which I've paid for and which is worth sharing to our community. Thanks, Omar. Have a good night. Thanks for joining. Pumpkin, are you still there? No worries, no worries. I look forward to checking your videos, but sometimes they don't get notification. Thanks, Omar. Have a good night. I think it's just me and Pumpkin now, and there's some viewers here that I can see are still awake. Miss Pumpkin, are you still with me? I'm really gonna try your recommendation, Pumpkin, about the iOS. I have to learn a lot of things in that department to improve as well my live stream or my um, overnight live stream. I'm gonna have to learn how to do that. So I can see that. Um, Pumpkin, what time is your live stream? I will go to your live stream later. Or are you actually going on live stream now? Let me check on YouTube what you have. See, when I go to, I usually go to subscription, right? And you see, I can see you there, but I don't see any blue button or red button. You can see speaking podcasts and conscious vibes, they don't have any blue or red dot. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, Miss Pumpkin, I think it's just you and me now. I'm gonna let you get on with your evening, midnight. What time do you have there? I think it's really time for me to sign off and let you rest. And if you're gonna go live stream, you know I'm gonna be there. And I appreciate you coming in today. Thank you so much, Pumpkin. It's just so funny. You're always suddenly from behind and just joining in. So thanks a lot again, Pumpkin. If you're still there or if you're just listening in the background, I'm going to close today's live stream. I'm about to eat my lunch. 1:30, almost 1:30. I'm going to have roast chicken for lunch and that's all. So I'm enjoying my peace and wait for YouTube to finish the copyright reading, and then I can do my editing. But I'll see you on your live stream, Pumpkin. Thank you so much for joining and for sharing all those amazing tips. And I will see you on your live session. Thanks, Pumpkin. Have a good night, my dear.